Hey, this is Pastor Tom. Thanks for joining me as we do a brief study on the word church in the New Testament. Maybe you've heard someone say, the church is not a building, it's a people. That's a good statement because of how the New Testament uses the word church. The New Testament was originally written in Greek, and the Greek word for church is ekklesia. If you break apart ekklesia into its basic parts, you find out that it is a combination of two words, out and called. So literally, an ekklesia is the called out people. Ekklesia wasn't originally a distinctly religious word. Its secular use is found 2 times in the New Testament, in Acts 19 in fact, where it's appropriately translated both times as assembly. In ancient Greece, when people gathered together in the stadium to democratically take care of political business, it was called the ecclesia. The people were called together for a purpose of ruling themselves. The biblical authors chose to use this word to communicate the purposeful assembly of the church. Here's a list of all 111 times the word ecclesia is used in the New Testament. The green highlight shows the 2 times it's used of a political assembly, and so that leaves 109 other times the word is translated as church. I'll point out 2 distinct ways the word is used. The first way is to describe a local gathering of believers. For example, we often read of a church meeting in a house or a city, and frequently we see the plural use of the word churches to show more than one church assembly is being referred to. This is the predominant way the word is used in the New Testament. 95 of these 111 times the word is used to refer to the local church. 1 Corinthians 16:19 is a good example of this use. Paul says, churches, that's plural, of Asia, that's a geographical place, send the Corinthians greetings. And Aquila and Prisca have a church meeting in their house. So this is the most common use of the word. A group of believers gathered together because of their faith in Christ in a specific place to do the work every church is called to do. Help people follow Jesus. But there's a second way the word church is used in the New Testament. This way describes what theologians call the universal church. When used this way, it refers to all the believers in Christ, past, present, and future, who have ever lived or died and will one day be united with Christ in heaven. The purple shows these 15 times. Interestingly, the book of Ephesians only uses the word ecclesia, church, in this universal sense, and not in a local sense. Of the 15 times in the New Testament when church refers to all Christians everywhere, in this universal sense, 9 of those times is right here in Ephesians. Let's look at each one briefly to show you how it refers to all Christians that are all singular and can only possibly refer to all Christians everywhere. In Ephesians 1:22, Christ is the head over the church. 3:10, God's wisdom is displayed through the church. 3:21, God is given glory in the church. 5:23, again it says that Christ is head of the church. The next verse says that the church is subject to Christ. 5:25 says Christ loved the church and died for her. 5:27, Christ is making the church holy and blameless for himself. 5:29 says Christ nourishes and cherishes the church like his own body. And finally, 5:32 says that human marriage is a picture of Christ's relationship with his bride, the church. So in Ephesians, the Apostle Paul shows us how the church is defined by her relationship to Jesus and how he cares for her. Neither here nor anywhere else is the church ever referred to as a building, but neither is the church random Christians doing their own thing. The universal church is always manifest in local churches. That's why it's 7 times more common that the word refers to the local church. The church is an assembly, gathered by Christ and committed to helping people follow Jesus. Thanks for joining me. I hope this brief study gives you a sense that there's so much more to learn about the nature and purpose of the church. We look forward to learning about God's plan for the church with you. God's blessings on your week.